back.
Try to unmute this time. Go.
Hey, Rob. Yeah. All right. A lot of people popping in. We'll start in a little bit. All right. Okay. Just another minute, and I see another for like a few new names. So if you're new here, welcome. We're going to start in a minute. All right, I think we should get started. So welcome everyone. This is the llm-d community call. Again, for the ones that are joining this first time, welcome. Please feel free to chime in. We have an open forum session in a little bit. Good time for you to chime in with requests or feedback, anything about the llm-d community. And as usual, we have Pete to just kick us off with the community updates. So Pete, over to you.
Awesome, thanks. Well, welcome everyone. If you're new here, you can find the community notes in the chat. They're pinned there, so feel free to add any topics to the open forum, as well as review the code of conduct. We are recording this call. The recordings are available afterwards in our Slack, and if you're not a member of our Slack, you can join following that link there. We share the recordings and the transcripts for all the community calls and the SIG meetings after within the channels within there. So, and if you do need any community help, you can tag the community team on Slack using the @community team, and that will let us know if you have any questions. We'll help you out. I don't know if I've mentioned that we actually have social accounts for llm-d, so please follow the socials. We post to those different blogs that people are writing or other interesting topics. And also follow the llm-d blog. There's a series of llm-d technical blog posts coming out by many of the folks on this call. Some really amazing, deep technical content there. So we will also share those out across all those socials. So if you see them, like, subscribe, retweet, whatever, share it out. And we definitely very much appreciate it. Now that the summer's over and we're kind of into everyone getting back from vacations and stuff, there are a lot of upcoming llm-d events. A lot of these are aligned with either VLLM meetups, and you can find like upcoming at the PyTorch Austin meetup coming up in a couple of weeks. There's going to be a VLLM meetup with some llm-d talks as well here in Boston, as well as at DevConf, which is a free event here in Boston. I've got registration links that are in there. And then bigger events that you might be going to, or if you're not and you want to, you should definitely join us. We'll be at PyTorch Conference. Many of the contributors will be there, and also at KubeCon Atlanta this fall. So hope to see you at some of those events. There'll be more coming as well, and hopefully more around the world that we can bring them closer to wherever you're at. So that's all I've got. So Carlos, I'll kick it back over to you.
Thanks a lot, Pete. Super exciting to see, of course, like the presence and the word spreading. So do engage, and I think there are a lot of things that we all can take from this. Excellent. So open forum, again, this is a time where anyone can chime in with questions, requests, complaints as well. So before we go to some of the sitting topics that we listed here, is there anything from the group anyone wants to raise in the open forum? Feel free to do it now. Okay, and don't be shy. We're very open in this community, so anything you can always raise here. I'll get us going, but again, feel free to chime in. The two topics, maybe kind of sitting, we mentioned about some of these kind of community requests about benchmarking database. So there's a proposal on the table. I'll let Marcio expand a little bit. So Marcio.
Hi. So, I mean, we reached that point now where when we have enough automation and enough reproducibility, enough data capture, including a standardized benchmark reporting format, that we believe we're at a point where we'd like to start to collect right, in a single place. We are proposing that to be a GitHub database, collect executions from different clusters, different hardware configurations, different parameters on a single repository. I left an issue open on llm-d benchmark right now for people to go and comment. I'm going to try to show there some example submissions, but the idea is to have it there now.
Thanks, Marcy. And one comment here. Again, this is really like in the spirit of like transparency and making it easy to reproduce. So really want feedback from the community in terms of the format, how we do it. So if you can drop in your feedback in the issue, that will be super helpful. Very good. Any comment or question about this feedback request? Okay.
Actually, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
One simple comment. Many people will say that GitHub is not a place to store data.
Yes.
Believe it or not. Might be better using, Google Drive someplace for directories and things like that.
Yeah. Thanks for that. This is actually something that we were also discussing this morning. We're kind of debating like not to pick something that it's, I don't know, it's not neutral in many ways. So we look into options. If you have a concrete suggestion, again, drop in. Again, not defined yet. So we're looking through options. Maru?
I think the reports and the analysis can be markdown files, and the data can be kept in drives. That would make sense.
It's one option as well. Okay. Any other suggestion, feedback here? Okay. The other one is, again, we got like the detailed updates. There's a lot of progress towards the release, and you guys know that we pushed out a little bit just for completeness, and we wanted to hit some important milestones, especially like YDP and the overall user experience. So this is happening. We have an updated date for the release very soon. We're not pushing this out very far. So again, but we want to have like some of these solid things in place, and they're coming. One of them is this whole doc revamp effort. We talk about this, you mentioned, but I'm just highlighting here because we're also seeking some feedback. We're moving the quick start docs to the main repo, some new structure for the guides and so on. There is a PR that Clayton helped us to put in place. So if you guys also want to take a look and give us feedback, that is appreciated. I don't think there is like, we debated quite a bit, like the right structure here. We're seeking clarity, kind of following some of the best practices in the industry, but we also want to keep the spirit of the well-lived paths in llm-d. So we kind of, we think we found like the best structure given that context. So again, if there is any feedback, we appreciate. Maroon?
Side note, there is no screen sharing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks so much. Somebody, yes, thank you so much. We missed that. Thank you. Yes, so I was talking to topic 2 here in Open Forum, docs revamp, and progress YDP. Those are like some seeding topics that we picked. Is there anything else for Open Forum that you guys want to raise? Okay, let's move to SIG updates, and I'm sure there'll be more discussion here. We changed the order a little bit, so we kind of alternate between like the topics. We don't squeeze topics towards the end. So today we're going to start with PD disaggregation with Tarian and Rob. And let's see, Tarian, yeah.
Good. Yeah, so we've made quite a bit of progress over the last like week or so on YDP. The big one is now we're getting speed up, like real speed ups using dual batch overlap. So maybe 1.7x for the decode case. And we've been running some larger scale benchmarks on a cluster with about a couple hundred GPUs. Still ways to go on prefill performance, and we have a few other optimizations in the pipeline. So yeah, prefill DBO does not give performance improvements yet. That's sort of like the next step once we get DBO landed on VLM main. We've got a fix up for the case of DPP tensor parallel for attention instead of just pure data parallel, and also using expert parallelism in the MOE layers. Basically, we do duplicate work because we have duplicate tokens coming into the MOE layers. So we have a fix for that that is sort of a wild card for what the performance is going to give us. But both the DeepSeek production system as well as SGLang use tensor parallelism in attention for DeepSeek, even though this does end up duplicating the KV cache. So TBD on what we get out of there. And then we've got some other performance improvements. So we have a switch from glue to nickel for this like synchronization that we need for the data parallel ranks within VLLM, which saves about 15 milliseconds, which like this actually turned out to be pretty important at this larger scale workload. We've got a improvement for a few CLU mol quant kernel for the DPP low latency case that we're working on. We just landed shared expert overlap to just improve the amount of overlapping, even for the non-DBO case. And then we've been doing some attention optimizations, not strictly related to YDP, but are targeted at MLA running DeepSeek. So kind of finally in a place where we kind of see the daylight on getting a real performance win here. Rob, is there anything you want to add?
No, I think that was a good summary. I think the only other like item here is like, I think that as we start to land these like wide EP like performance items, like the integration into the rest of the llm-d system will become more important. So I know Martin's been doing a great job of scoping out the overall work to hook this up to the 1 pod per node scheduling. So, you know, I think that it makes sense for us to invest in this now. So I know we're going to talk about this in a second. But yeah, I think the timing is good. So.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob. I had, actually comments along the same lines. Yeah, again, this first of all, I mean, this was very tricky, so kudos to the whole team. Again, it took some effort to get here, so it's great to see the progress. I have a quick question, like on the glue to nickel switch. Tyler, do you know to the top of your head, like what are the primitives, like the collectives that you're using for nickel? It's just like just all to all, like I'm just curious, like how much of nickel you're really using for the collectives, and I'll tell you why. Because again, we're exploring some of these other transport optimizations, and I just want to make sure that we cover all we need.
Yeah. So this case that we're talking about right here is just like a coordination. Yeah. It's like once per forward pass, and it's like a really small vector of length DP size, just to collect like essentially the number of tokens that each rank is producing. Basically, you have to coordinate, like, are we using CUDA graphs? Are we using DBO? Like, how many iterations of this, like, DP, this, like, MOE chunking loop do we have? So that's kind of like a coordination thing. For tensor parallel, we primarily use all reduce. So that'll be an all reduce at the end of attention. However, with my PR for this like TP attention plus EPMOE like bug fix, that adds an all gather to the MOE layers within the tensor parallel group. And then as a further step, we can switch the all reduce to a reduced scatter.
Okay. Yeah. So those are the three that I would expect. Very good. I'll follow up offline. I just want to kind of double click here quickly. Great. Thanks, Tyler. Any other question, comment for this one? All right. Let's move to Inference Scheduler. Lily?
Yeah. So it's the third here, but the Inference Gateway V1 is still not released, but there is a release candidate. Still some small issues, updating documentation. This is progressing. Two top priority items that we started working on. One is DP aware scheduling. We already started implementation. Basically, one one pod that will expose several engines, several ports. This requires supporting the inference gateway. The inference pool CRD already has this support. We need to implement it in the scheduler. So one thing is by collecting matrices from all the ports in the pod. So we'll be able to understand to which one we want to route the request. There is PD support that also needs to be extended to this use case. We will have simulator support for that as well, the VLM simulator. There is an issue with some collective health check. This was decided that it will be addressed separately. So basically, this work already started targeting 04. Another thing that is high priority, and we are seeing several use cases, is supporting multi-models in one Envoy, one llm-d deployment with several base models at scale, meaning we are hearing like can be hundreds or hundreds of base models. Currently, there is an issue with that, but because since the inference model was removed from inference gateway, there is no mapping basically between a base model or LoRa to an inference pool. So there is no really good way to get a request and understand to which of the inference pool it should be routed. So this needs to be addressed. So also working on that, we'll suggest some design options and start checking this at scale, several EPPs, see how it works, because I'm not sure it was tested at scale. Today, the blog on the inference scheduler, intelligent inference scheduling with llm-d should be published today. And we have 3 more poster sessions accepted to PyTorch in addition to the talk. So we'll have a presence there. This is in October, and in November we have one KubeCon talk accepted, Moen and Michi. That's it.
Great. Thanks, Neely. Again, just good to see the mind share and again the influence that you're having. Any question, comment? Okay, let's move over to KVID's aggregation. Arun?
Yes, updates on the VLM native CPU offloading connector. Its reviews are progressing, performance is improving, and it has been declared a top priority for VLM. So it should, we've been saying it, but it should land soon. We're cutting v0.3 very soon this week. It includes OpenAI chat completions, efficient preprocessing library to be used by the inference scheduler and the inference gateway. Synchronous tokenization, which is a necessity for HA deployments. So far we had a synchronous tokenization, which worked well with one instance. Once you go beyond that, it can become a problem. So we now support cached synchronous tokenization. There are also new benchmarks in v0.3 and general improvements and increased test coverage. v0.4 was drafted. It targets the CPU offloading connector integration, LM cache integration through KV events, which is a step towards the standardization effort we're leading in VLM, and multimodal support in pre-processing and indexing. That's just the draft. We might grow it to more items, but this is the base we want to cover. Goes without saying, more tests, code improvements, and more benchmarks.
Okay, very good. Any question, comments for KVID's aggregation? Okay, let's move over to benchmarking.
Okay, it will be quick update this week. So we made some improvements on the way that you described experiments. We now have this named parameter sets. It is in part in preparation for this general database, aggregated database. finally we finished the integration with the new refactor llm-d infra. We are not depending on any external repositories anymore. Basically, just use the Helm charts, pre-packaged Helm charts. We started a process of having always the well-lit paths on llm-d infra, later on llm-d, to be in sync what we have on benchmark. So for each one, you have at least one scenario, one list of experiments with different parameters that can vary. We are having a bit of trouble to get YDP AWS there, but we plan to finish this week and have a cut release v03. That's it.
Yeah. So this one comment, just to highlight, right, what Marcio just mentioned, is kind of one-to-one mapping from quick starts to what actually it's available on benchmarking. I think that will go a long way to just simplify how folks go from, hey, I tried it out, to now I want to see some interesting numbers or some evaluation. So I think that will be a clearer path, which is it's all the goal for this project. So that's one. And also one thing that you're doing for the new docs is also to have a benchmark session so we can point more clearly to how you connect with this infrastructure. So this is also something that we're doing. All of this is planned for 03. One general comment I'll make, I mean, we sometimes mention like versions here. Just keep in mind that there is component versioning and then the overall packaging for llm-d versioning. So if this is confusing, we can always clarify. So when you see some dates here for the component, of course, this all align with the packaging for the overall release. That being said, any comment or question for benchmarking? Okay. Observability, Sally and Roy. Maybe Sally first.
Yeah. So there are a few PRs in progress. That llm-d PR, I think I heard in the beginning of the meeting, we'll be moving some of the well-lit paths examples to the central repo. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see a PR for that yet. I just quickly looked. Is there a PR for that now?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's work in progress. You probably see like the proposal for the structuring, the PR that I have up here. I don't think we have the whole PI yet.
Okay, cool.
But it's coming. Yeah.
I'll look at that because that will probably affect, how we want to place
Yeah.
this observability stuff. So I'll look at your proposal and try to work in, what I have in that PR, maybe fit it together better. So, but we do need a central observability home, somewhere where we can, as a community, keep the dashboards and all of that work. And then I had the service monitor PR should be going into the upstream gateway charts. I'm wondering what's the plan with those model service charts, because if those are going to remain past 0.3, we'll add the service monitor there as well. Does anyone know? Is that definitely?
Yeah, I can quickly comment and then we can follow up with Greg.
Okay.
Greg is out this week, but he'll be back. So the updated charts, right, with the quick starts, those things, of course, they stay, just like the locations moving. So that's your reference. I think mine updates, but yeah, again, I mean, those are like the same examples, right? So I don't think that should affect you, Sally, other than the location, but we can double check.
Yeah, the EP with the ones that deploy EPP, those are the ones I'm wondering about.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can get with Greg and Brent to figure it out.
Let's follow up offline. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And we've had lots of discussions around auto tracing, auto instrumentation and tracing and eBPF. So a few of us have some POCs in progress, so we should be able to show that at some time soon. And I'm hoping to pair up with the SIG CI/CD and any other environment that is testing, running llm-d with all the things enabled with P&D and KV cache utilization and all of that, because that's been a blocker for observability because we need something to observe. So if you could reach out to someone from SIG observability and pair up, that will be really useful because we could develop the dashboards easier.
Great. Thanks, Sally. I don't know if Roy is here. If there's anything else from Roy. Okay. Let's move to the scaling.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
One quick comment. You know, in the inference scheduler repo, you can run there's a make target env-dev-kind, which brings up an entire environment under kind using the simulator. It can also bring up PD.
Yeah, cool. I have my Minikube running and all. It's just hard to get all of the code paths lit up, you know, with so many configurations. So yeah, if as many different varieties is what I'm looking for.
Okay, no problem.
All right. So moving to auto scaling, Abhishek or Kamar?
Abhishek, you want to take it?
Yeah, sure. So there's quite a bit of progress that we made around different aspects. So first, really quickly, we are able to scale up and scale down based upon the request per minutes queries that we get on a variant. The issue there was some sort of a contract on gracefulness. So there was an agreement made with the community on how we can enable graceful scale down for now without essentially creating a new controller. The agreement there was we would use pre-stop hooks, and we would tweak and tune the termination grace period so that kubelet / the core Kubernetes machinery does most of the work for us um, in majority of the cases. So that's been discussed and agreed in the community. Our E2E tests were using a different version of VLLM server than what was packaged with the llm-d community. So we are aligning with the VLLM version that the llm-d community is packaging. That led to some minor changes inside the collector on how we query the Prometheus. So the E2E tests were fixed, and a PR was merged in the dev branch that addresses the same. So one of the big changes that we were discussing, moving on to the next topic, the big change that we were discussing with the community is about the mechanics to scale up and scale down. So we are using battle tested Kubernetes mechanism. So we start with integrating the WVA autoscaler with HPA. We use alpha feature of the HPA autoscaler to enable scale to 0. All this has been tested on kind, and it should run locally on your MacBook or on your laptop as we speak. All of those changes are part of the dev branch. There was also a bug that was reported by other users in the community. It's basically about how the core optimizer traverses to different VAs to prioritize resources. At this point, I think it was more related to determinism, and now we strictly follow priority classes mentioned inside the config map to allocate resources for different VAs running in the system. So that's one core optimizer / algorithmic bug that was also fixed. The team also introduced support for TTFT. It's still an alpha feature. So the way I define alpha is it's being tested on it does not have an E2E at this point, and it's been tested on a single scenario that we see it's been working, and we try to harden and polish this alpha feature, which is part of the optimizer. And as always, we try to increase our test coverage, be it unit tests or E2E. So that's an ongoing thing in part of the dev branch. And as we speak, we are also running tests on OpenShift 419 and 420 is what I believe. So those are kind of our updates.
Great. Thanks, Abhishek. A lot of progress here, clearly. We save installation CI/CD for next time. Greg is not here today. So I think we just at time. So thanks a lot for joining. Again, any feedback on like the format for this community call? Again, we try to just keep like a very broad update on everything and defer to like the 6 for detailed discussion. If there is, again, suggestions for how we run the community call, of course, we'll be happy to hear and see if we can adjust. And with that, thanks again for joining today, and I'll see you all next week.
Bye-bye.